Good evening once more. I have a question to our president, but I'm sure Mheshimiwa and Mwalimu will answer. There have been a debate online and on media for the last 2 days or 3 that our president has taken some key function of the county government of Nairobi. May you tell us why he has taken the function from the governor? Thank you.
Nice question.
Next, please. Okay.
Okay. Let me start by asking to say like this. We have seen that Mr.
Just
President.
put it closer.
Yeah. We have seen that Mr. President have made a affordable houses program as a pillar in education sector, which he have reserved 20% of units for the teachers' quarters and the hostel for the university comrades. So my question is, how is his administration ensure the rent to own model is more affordable to the young teacher or the graduating comrade as they are going to start their first time career? Yeah.
Thank you.
Right, thank you. Next. Last question, please.
Yes.
Hello again. So I have a question regarding the tourism sector. So the Masai Mara Game Park, or is it a game reserve? Yeah. So there are developments that have recently been established, and it has led to like the blockage of the migration of the wild beasts, which is actually the beauty of going to visit the Masai Mara. So like
You said there are what that have been put?
there is a hotel.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, a hotel that has been put. It has been established inside Masai Mara. So it's blocking the migration of the
Migratory path.
wild beast. Yeah. And that's the major thing that tourists always come to see. So I would like to ask the president, like, how is he going to address this issue? Like, yes, it's an investment to Kenya, but again, it's hindering the fact of the beauty of the migration of the wild beast. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
The last one before we close this session.
Are you okay, Judith? Don't reserve any question. Just ask.
Mine is still back on the unemployment issue. Mwalimu has said that the Kenya Ports has offered a platform where people can apply for jobs. And personally, I find that the main issue with the unemployment crisis is the work experience required. Because I've been going through some of the job applications that are open online, and when you look at the qualifications, they'll need a recent graduate to have a 3 years work experience. They'll want somebody who's fresh from the university to have maybe a 4 years work experience. And personally, I think that is one of the biggest hindrance when it comes to the employment opportunity in Kenya. And secondly, if President Ruto can work with the relative authority to investigate on the ghost workers and the ghost workers who are draining our country, I think with that, more employment opportunities will be found for our fresh graduates. And also on employment, if the retirement age is checked, I mean, there are people who've been serving since since we gained independence, and such things are the ones blocking employment opportunities to our youth. And on the Nyota Fund is also a good initiative. And it's working for those it's working. But how long will it work with our unstable economy? Yes, I'll be happy the 10,000 has helped me. I've opened my kinyozi. But with the uncertainty in our economy, how sure am I that the business Nyosha Fund has enabled me to open will take me for the year with the uncertainty of the economy?
Good.
Thank you.
You want to wrap it up?
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you can just go on.
Thank you. Mine is to ask. Okay, right now I don't want to put the blame on Mr. President and ask Mr. President do this and do this, but the body responsible for regulation of electricity cost, if they can just for once reduce the cost of electricity, I feel like it would also lower the cost of our production as a country. And another thing, if they can address these gaps with SHA, my friend Dora said that SHA is working to her, and in reality, it is not working for everyone. And if these gaps that are happening in the SHA, if they can address this gap so that we can have an affordable health care, and also one of high quality, at least to reduce maybe the death rates, and also to reduce the cost of living. Not our hands are not the same. They're not on the same level. So if this issue can be addressed, I feel like we'd be far as a country, and also it would address our insecurities when it comes to transparency and accountability. And another thing, if they can tell us more about accountability in regards to police brutality and justice to those who have never seen the,
To the victims.
yeah, the victims.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. I think the last one.
Mine was just to add on to something that she had asked. Okay, so she was talking about Masai Mara Reserve. Now mine is on Bomas of Kenya. So there's renovation happening in the Bomas of Kenya. So my question was, will this renovation help to, because the Bomas of Kenya has been helping to preserve the cultural heritage of the country, will the renovation will it help in the improvement of that preservation, or will it risk us losing now the preservation of that cultural heritage?
Your question is very clear. Don't doubt yourself. It's very clear.
All right. I think we had the last
Yeah.
one.
Okay, Mwalimu will clarify on that, but SHA is working. But what I can ask is the president and the health sector. Mgonjwa akiletwa, the hospitals are looking at the money first. The other day, we won't mention the hospital. You have to pay for this first for the medication to take place. Unlike another hospital we went, they took through all the ugonjwa and everything, then you paid. So I think all the hospitals, they should first work on the health, save the life, then payments to work along. But I feel SHA is working. Mwalimu will clarify about it.
I think you need to become women rep. That's a good proposal so that you can make it law. Now, I think that's it.
Yeah, I think that's enough.
So with the way we would want us to deal with that is we will move first responder is going to be Priska, then Faith, then Mwalimu will crown it all. So Priska, you are pretty privileged and you have your... Oh, you didn't get the questions?
We didn't talk the questions for Mwalimu.
No. Okay. Okay.
Now, what we'll do,
Yeah.
I will respond, then you plug the holes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Number one, about the government taking over certain functions of the county government of Nairobi. The government decided to help the county government of Nairobi to perform certain functions, but it did not take it over the way the Uhuru government took from Sonko and even formed NMS. And Governor Sakaja is on record coming to say no function was taken over. I think if you Google, you'll find out. And I think it is good for a government to help the county governments because they are supposed to be interdependent. And you've noticed that even in some counties where we have been holding national holidays, the government has always gone there to help complete the stadia and the road network around the venues of those functions. So the truth is the government has not taken over the functions, but have decided to help them perform those functions. Because Nairobi is actually in Kenya. We can't leave it for the county government only. Then there was the jobs at port, and I think somebody was saying that some experience is wanted. Those jobs, they are those ones which are called graduate trainees. No experience required apart from your certificates to prove that you are a graduate. You are going to be trained there. And those ones are the ones that are going there in their hundreds. Because they cannot call you for an interview, you do it online. I think, in fact, that one, the person who should have talked about it should have been Emmanuel, because I think he applied that. Then there was the Masai Mara issue. Initially, I spoke here and said that we can't let the president handle the mistakes of the watchman at our gate and also at the defense. The Masai Mara is actually in a county, and that tourism is actually developed. If that county puts its foot down that this guy is not going to build here, the government, the national government, will just get a report that Fulani has been denied this. But you see, Kenyans have not learned to put the blame where it belongs. There are certain blames which squarely belong to the county governments, and they need to deal with that. In any case, it is them who lose revenue if the avenue, the paths of the wildlife is blocked. So that question needs to go to the county government. The case of ghost workers, I am not sure if there are ghost workers in the national government, but I am aware on record that the county governments have so many ghost workers. Ghost workers is a corruption case which can only be fought but cannot be switched off like a water tap. Even countries that started fighting corruption long time ago, like European countries and the US, corruption has refused to go away. There's always some residue. But when an inch like you and me want to see a fight, they want to see somebody appearing in court. They want to see somebody appearing before the Senate or before Parliament or before EACC. That is what we want to see. And to some extent we are seeing. But we must keep pushing, I agree. Retirement age. Why? I'm not sure whether retirement age is the solution to our problems. There was a time I was chairman at Lake Basin Development Authority. There was an old man there, the only one who knew how to operate the rice mill. When his retirement age arrived, all those engineering graduates that we employed could not operate that machine. And we had to call him from home and extend his term after retirement to continue and, of course, train these people to gain experience quickly. There are certain young people that you train them and they go and wait at home to get a job and do. There is a problem there. Even if you are going to be a volunteer, make sure you try to gain some experience. These days when we want you that you have come from the School of Journalism, we want to see you able to operate a camera, operate a video switcher, and such things. Even if you are first class and you can't do that, too bad. So I think as people grow old, some die, some retire, they leave room for the young ones. But because the young ones are many, we must deliberately create jobs by building infrastructure, by putting good atmosphere for investments and good infrastructure for investment. That is the only way. And from where I sit, I think it has been done. Nyota. There was something that somebody said here, I'm not sure who it was. It must have been the doctor. Dr. Judy, you know, the problem we have with many of us, we want the government to do certain things. And those things we want the government to do, we do not want to talk about uncertainty. But the things the government are already doing, we want to create uncertainty. The government says, we are going to do this, we are going to do this. You want to say, we want to wait and see. Please, if the government has promised to till your land, prepare seeds. And one day, if the seeds are not planted because the government didn't till, come forth with them. Nyota, the future of it is the person who has received the funds, not the government. And the success of your business will also be the success of the economy, which you are saying there is uncertainty. Multiple businesses going on in a country determines how its economy runs, because those businessmen are taxpayers, those businesses are employers, and those businesses are producers of goods and services. So you and me, on our own individual capacity, we must ensure that the business we are doing with the Nyota funds becomes sustainable. The government is not going to come to sustain our own business going forward. And even when people say the economy of a country is going down, we can only talk to the government in policy level. But in management of level of businesses going down to bring the economy down is you and me, the businessman. And then something beautiful here was said. I don't know who this was, but it must have been the lawyer. Electricity cost will lower the cost of production. Nothing can be more profound than that. And I remember the president addressing some people in Eastern, and he said he went to Ethiopia when they were opening their new dam that had 3,000 megawatts, which is more than the total power available in Kenya. And the president said, we must strive using the sovereign fund that people are already criticizing to have that much energy. When we have oversupply of energy, the cost will drop down overnight. And the cost of you producing goods and services will definitely go down. And that is how our economy works. Today, they tell us that our sugar is more expensive than the one in Brazil for one single factor, cost of energy. So when the president has deliberately said he is envious of Ethiopians having more power than us, and we must strive to beat them, then I think we need to be clapping instead of expressing doubts. And then somebody spoke about police brutality. I'm sorry to say that we have over-exaggerated what we call police brutality.
It was accountability.
No, it was accountability or brutality.
Brutality.
It was brutality,
Yes.
sir.
Yes.
And let me tell you something.
Oh.
I don't condone police brutality because I am a potential victim of that brutality. You are a potential victim. But no government sends the police to be brutal. In 2017, when we were protesting after the last general election as Kenyans, somewhere opposite the gate of this place where we are today, between the GPO roundabout and here, 4 Prado Land Cruisers ran through protesters who are protesting the results of the general election. Didn't anybody see that? And that was not all. There is another photo that was taken on University Way about a man who was being chased by police. He fell down and the police came on his head with boots. Those are police brutalities we cannot accept. But to talk about it, that it is only within this regime that the police has used excess force on citizens. In 2017, you could not even leave your house in Kibra, Madare, or Mukuru to get out to reach the streets to protest. In this one, we are in the streets. And some of us were seen breaking into shops, chasing police women inside trucks and beating them, chasing policemen along Trika Road and kicking them from the back. So as much as we complain about police brutality, there is also the protester brutality. if we wanted to justice, we have to seek it with clean hands. We must first stop being brutal before we complain about police brutality. Because the police and the protesters are outnumbered 100 to 1. You see that crowd that goes to protest, and you see the number of policemen who are supposed to deal with them. And still you want the policemen to go onto the road without live bullets or rungus. Don't you think you will not have policemen left at the end of the day? I am not saying I condone brutality, but I am saying in politics we need to compare and contrast and say, what would you do if you are you? Because in 2017, we lost more people during the post-election protests than we lost during the GenZ protest. It was only overshot because there was an earlier protest in 2023, ile ya sufuria. The one which was completely unnecessary. So we need to be fair. Even this thing, I think there's a lawyer somewhere there. You are saying that you want those people who are injured during the protest to be compensated. Don't you want that? But the law will require that you prove that the police was not responding to use the firearm to protect life and property. Because it is on record they looted, it is on record they assaulted the police, so that was protecting life, looting, protecting property. What will you say about that? We have seen the media repeating again and again that more comments, the president said shoot them, shoot their legs. The president did not say shoot protesters. The president said you shoot those who are a danger to life and property. And he's meant to say shooting the legs.
I'm Ara.
Michuki, I don't know if you are adults, said shoot them on sight. And you know who are being shot? Masais who are fighting with the Kikuyu in Enosopukia. And the next day, 6 of them lay dead, with bullets entering their bodies from the back. John Michuki, the one who once said that if you rattle a snake, prepare to be bitten, because the police had raided the Standard newspapers. Something that cannot happen today during President William Ruto. It cannot happen. Ruto cannot send police to go and raid a newspaper. After all, he knows the outcry will be too much. So the choice of GenZs to go to the streets to protest was carefully selected because they do not have the benefit of history. I do have. I listened to Michuki talk. I watched Uhuru deal with protest. I watched the protest of 2007, where 2,500 Kenyans were killed and Luos were burnt in houses in Naivasha with their families. And they were removed from vehicles and circumcised with broken Fanta bottles. So when you see people talking here, then you wonder what they are talking about. We just need to compare who among these presidential candidates is better. But to come and demonize one, a player who is in the field because you know a player outside the field cannot commit a mistake. And after that you say, that Ronaldo was a very bad player. Because you chose to every mistake Ronaldo makes in the field, you tell people outside. Then one day you say, no. That one now you can put that Kenyan player because we have not seen his mistakes. He will be worse. Countries have celebrated when dictators take power through the gun. They celebrated when Museveni took power. They celebrated when the Rwandan president took power. But today they are crying. Because we are lazy thinkers. So before I close this, there was Bomas and Shah. Somebody was worried about preserving the heritage and culture at Bomas. Bomas is not being renovated. Bomas is being rebuilt afresh. It is going to be the largest convention center anywhere south of Egypt and north of South Africa. But the old Bomas, which has the Luo traditional houses, the Maasai tradition, the Kikuyu tradition, is left intact as a tourist attraction, as a preservation of our heritage and culture. So what is going on? But I want you to go out here knowing that there is an opposition out there who will never accept that the government of the day has done anything good. Hata saa hii ukisema you are going to give people more money than they said in Nyota, they will start complaining. If they are not complaining it is too small, they are complaining it is not sustainable. And that is how they operate. So that is the case of Bomas. Then finally the case of SHA. Number one, I want you to get it very clear that SHA is not a medical facility, it is not a hospital, it is not a laboratory, it is a fund. It is a fund that is supposed to pay your hospital bills. So when you go to the county government of Homa Bay and you are told there is no medicine, that is not SHA. If you go to Mama Lucy Hospital and you are told your records are not up to date, they can't treat you, that is not SHA, that is the county government. And if they go and they tell you we can't treat you until you pay us, that is not SHA, that is the hospital administration. But I have got testimonies of people saying, I had a bill of 79,000, it was cleared. Me, I've even been invited to go and contribute to hospital bill. The next day I was told that no, SHA paid it. But SHA being a new thing, let's strive to correct it than vilify it. Because NHIF that we keep on saying, I've heard the position saying they will revert to NHIF, which covered 4 million Kenyans out of 50. And SHA has already reached 27 million Kenyans covered. And not only that, it is not only covering diseases, it is also covering disease prevention, primary health care, infrastructure development, chronic diseases. In fact, ordinarily, today, if you are declared suffering from AIDS, SHA is supposed to pay for the management of that. Cancer, SHA is supposed to pay that. International treatment, SHA is supposed to pay that. Talk to your legislators to ensure that SHA does what it ought to do. And not blame those who brought in SHA. They have brought it for you, make it work better. Thank you, Mheshimiwa.
Thank you very much. Faith, you want to plug in?
I think Mwalimu has
Okay.
explained, but I just want to add something which is totally unrelated when we talked about issues of experience.
Yes.
And I would love this to be off record. On experience, I know most of you will graduate very soon. Unless it's medically related, these other areas, you can always lie about your experience. Yeah, you can lie about your experience. Something like, for example, you're applying for a certain position, skills come administrative, bookkeeping, you can always lie about those ones. But after lying, also go and do some research on them because you'll also learn on the job. So after lying, if you're called for interview, you're already prepared. Do some research on that area. When you're applying for maybe as a camera person, and you seriously want that job and you're somebody who is ready or willing to learn, you can just write that you have the experience. Then go before the interview, learn about that experience, learn about the skills. Information is available everywhere on YouTube. Kuna squeezing back at DIYs that you go step by step and see how it's done. So experience is ikustopishe from getting a job. And then the skills that we normally underlook, we can always include them. The 3 months, the 2 months, so long as it's something you did, do it. But don't lie that you're a doctor now.
Thank you.
I like
pretty
that.
privileged one. You want to say something?
Yeah, I want to add on something. So I want to say nature as a way of making us all to survive in the ecosystem. What do I mean by that? We cannot all fit in the same opportunities. The government, hata government leo iseme leo the youths wote wenye wako unemployed itupe kazi. Kuna wenye wata fumble, kuna wenye hata make to reach to those jobs, kuna wenye hata appreciate your kazi. So venye tu nimesema, we have to be sasa wenye tuko enlightened and we know what we want, we have to make the job now to make for others, ndo tusaidia wengine kupata kazi na tuendelee ku educate. Hata in this room, hata tupewe kazi sisi wote, kuna mwenye ata fumble. tukikuwa 10, one might. 9 tunaweza sustain the job, but one nini. So that's why I'm saying that nature has a way of making us all fit in the ecosystem in one way or another. Now, talking about the Masai Mara and the wild beast migration and all that. So what I think the government can do, it's strengthening the environment impact assessment. What do I mean by that? It should redesign or cancel all projects that are hindering the migration of wild beast migration in the corridors or whatever it's blocking it from happening. Yeah, thank you.
I think I will make you the government spokesperson next time. I think we want to bring it to an end, and I want to say thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for all these insights. Back to you, Emmanuel.
Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Valentine's once again. Happy Valentine's.
Happy Valentine's.
Yes, thank you so much. And this is Red Ring Media Production. We've been here just making sense of what is happening, especially in the political ground, the view of the young generation as they intersect with the wise men around. Thank you so much. And make sure that you always subscribe to our YouTube channel at Red Ring Media TV, on our Facebook account at Red Ring Media and X account at Red Ring Media. My name is Emmanuel Oma, and before I close this session, I want to invite the convener of this session to say a word.
Oh, yes. I have one here.
Yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I am very elated about the conversation we have had here. But when you leave here, live as an ambassador. Whatever you live with it here, negative or positive, spread it out there so that you talk to other people to understand certain things that you have understood from here today. We will invite you again and again, and you become friends of face-to-face with the Gen Z. And we are soon going to divorce face-to-face with the Gen Z from Red Ring Media so that it operates on its own, and you become members and you subscribe and you become part of it, so that every time we go out, you become part of it. Emmanuel, make sure everyone here is a member of that group.
Definitely.
And we will send to you, I don't know if any still photos were taken, but these videos, we will send them to you through Google links. You can spread them, you can share them out, and you can also subscribe to Red Ring Media TV, Red Ring TV, and then you're good to go. Yeah.